by going to GitHub. The link will be in the description, and download the React Boilerplate code. Just download the zip. Then choose a directory that you'll want to store your project in. I'll just be using documents. We'll open up File Explorer to point to that, and we'll also open up what we've just downloaded. I'll just open this and drag the React Boilerplate main code into where I want to store the app, and then I'll just rename this, just getting rid of the main. I'll copy the full path of this directory, and then I'll open a command prompt and then change directory cd into our folder that we'll be keeping our project in. And then I'll run the commands atom full stop to open atom within that directory. So we can go back to our command prompt and type, while in the main directory, npm install. Then we need to cd change directory into the client folder. And then run the same command again, npm install. Ignore the vulnerabilities for now. I think it's because the Create React app has recently updated and all the fixes for the modules haven't caught up yet. We can change directory 1 back, so we're back in the React Boilerplate directory by typing change directory cd dot / excuse me, 2 full stops and a /. We need to set up a MongoDB database, and for that we'll be using MongoDB Compass, so we need to open a browser and just type MongoDB Compass. We want to go to MongoDB Compass download. We want to then choose the on-premises MongoDB locally. We want a community server, and we'll just download this. Once the download is complete, we just run through the installation process. We'll just keep these as is for now. Finish the setup. Now hopefully we can just connect to localhost. We'll test this out soon, but first we should get a MLab account. We can type in MLab in the search. mlab.com. Sign up for an account. You should only need an email address. I'll log in. I've already got an account. So with MongoDB installed both locally and with our new database online, we can start our coding. From here, I'll go back to Heroku via the browser. Now I'm going to create a new Heroku app. Just give it a name. Just leave the region as United States and create app. Again, we've got our Heroku instructions. We'll log in now. So we've logged in, we've initialized our Git repository. We'll set our Heroku repository using these instructions. We've added, we've committed, and now hopefully we just push to Heroku. We're most likely going to get some errors here. We're going to need to configure our MLab database slightly in order to accept IP addresses from Heroku. And we're also going to need to set those variables defined here within Heroku. So our deployment is complete. We'll go back to our browser and we'll see what kind of errors we've received. Here's our newly created project. We'll click Open App. Now we can go back to our command prompt and we can type Heroku logs tail. We'll go back to our project on Heroku. We'll first start by going to settings and setting our config variables. Now what we want to do is we want to set all three of these to have the relevant data that is required to complete our URI to connect to our MLab database. So I'll copy that and paste that as the key. I'll go back to MLab and log in. I'll go to database access, and that is the user I'll be using. Yours might be different depending on whatever you named yours. Back over to our config variables. I'll paste that in and then I'll add that. So now we have process.env.mongodb underscore username set. I'll jump ahead to MongoDB underscore DB name. I'll copy that, paste that as the key, and the value is going to be whatever the database name is. For me, it was my first database. To get the name of your database, go to clusters, and the name should be displayed here. This is from the previous tutorial where I've added carrots into this database. So I'm just going to type my first database. Here. I'll add that. Back to our code, we just have to add the password now. I'll copy that. I'll paste that in the key, and then I'll add my password for the user of the database. Now with our variables added to the Heroku deployment, we also need to go to network access within MLab. Now we have to allow certain IP addresses to be able to access the database on the MLab server. So I'm going to hit add IP address, and then I'm going to type 0.0.0.0/0. Now this will allow access from anywhere. So basically we could have just hit that and confirmed. But now we've included this IP address, which will allow all IP addresses to access the app. You'll probably want to change this to specific IP addresses if your app is something that needs security. But for right now, as this is just a tutorial to get us up and running, then this will be fine for now. I'm going to go back to Heroku and I'll open this app up again. And as you can see, we now have our app up and running. Now we'll try to add a new item to our list, which will hopefully store within our MLab database. We've got one entry here. We'll hit add, and we've got tomato displaying. We'll go back to our database, we'll refresh. And we now have our added item displaying on our MLab database.